the Pleiades. Walks in beauty like the night, oh, that is best, dark and now lost to me. I'm only trusting the northern star. That's the only point that's fixed. I once believed in love. Even love cannot bridge this rift.
You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.
Do you have a paranormal story you want to share on Night Dreams Talk Radio? You could be a guest. Email us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.
You're listening to my friend Gary Anderson on Night Dreams Talk Radio, the best in paranormal radio.
Well, John, I don't know why you keep saying the best in paranormal radio. We're definitely on the radio, but I tell you what, we could change jobs. You can come over here and do my show, and I'll run that hotel you had, and we'll see which one can do a better job. I think you'd be better on this behind the microphone, and I could be really cracking in that hotel with, what goes on there, especially with Mandel, working in the kitchen. Anyway, you're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark. This is Gary. And boy, I just had a day. It's been cracking right from the minute I woke up, and it's still cracking right now. I've had a little break today because my son didn't bring his 2 dogs in the house. They're out in the studio, or actually they're in the studio cabin, which is on my property. So it's a nice little break. I don't hear the barking of these 2 giant dogs. And I tell you, when they go running up and down the hallway, and we do got a good-sized house, I'll tell you, the whole house shakes. That's how big they are. They're about 130-some pounds each and growing.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know how you do it. I would think they would be a danger to knock you over and then just stomp you to death.
Well, I got really smart with one dog because they got a harness on him. If I can grab it right, I can get a free ride from one end of the house to the other. But the problem is I'm doing like 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you put the brakes on that? You just kind of let go and slide to where you want to stop?
Yeah. I got skid marks up and down the hallway like you wouldn't believe.
I'm sure your wife loves that.
I also got skid marks in my shorts, too, but I'm not going to go into that. But I tell you what, these dogs are kind of fun, but you know what? They don't realize they're a big dog. I'm used to like a terrier pool. It was small. It weighed maybe 8-10 pounds at the most. And, when it sat on my lap, it sat on my lap. You get one of these 130-some pound dogs that don't realize how big they are and jumps on your lap and sits on it. I tell you what, you can't even breathe, let alone, you're sitting there looking at, well, I'm not going to say, but I tell you what, I like dogs, but I don't, I like them small. That way also, you got them small, you only have to clean it up and you can put it in one of these little doggy bags and get rid of it. I swear to God, these dogs, I could fill up a fruit box like every day from these suckers.
Oh my goodness. Not only that says, what comes out goes in. They must really eat a lot of food. They got to have some appetites, them big boys.
Yeah, and what goes in goes out, and somebody has to pick it up. And I tell you, when I'm stuck babysitting them, I don't want, I'm just used to a little dog, little turds. You just scoop it up and put it in a little bag, tie it shut, it's gone. These things here is like, man, was an elephant just in my house?
It sounds like you got a couple elephants tromping through there. Wow. And plus you got a couple of birds. That one bird
couple of birds. My wife is a freak on birds. You go into the kitchen, there's about 20 birds. I mean, cockatoos, parrots, and parakeets, and what, I don't even know what the other one is. But you go into the front room, there's the one you want to stay away from. I mean, it imitates cell phones really good. You think yourself, and it's picked up these dogs barking. I swear to God, I'll be in my bedroom, and I think, like, oh, my son brought one of the dogs in. I hear it barking. It's not a dog, it's the bird.
Oh boy, that's the one I always hear every now and again. That's the one. He's a ornery one.
Yeah, well,
to say the least.
Yeah, I'd tell you what. I knew a lady had a parrot, and I'm scared of these ones. This is not a small one. This is macabre.
Big.
Yeah, it's big. You know, I think every Thanksgiving it would be a nice dinner. But I mean, but it's getting too old and it'd be tough. But if you put your finger near there, it acts like it wants to be your friend, right? But if you put your hand near the cage, watch out. It'll take off your finger. And ever since a friend of mine years ago had a parrot, and it wasn't even a full-size one like this one, it took her finger off.
Yeah, they're no joke, man. Those beaks are sharp, and they are strong. They'll leave a mark. At the very least, they'll leave a mark. Yeah, you never stick your finger in a bird cage, especially a bird you don't know.
Yeah. I know this one. I wouldn't, after all these years, I would never, ever, ever put my hand near that bird. No. But anyway, so, I can't wait to later this week. Tomorrow guess who we got on? Tobias.
Oh.
And,
okay, yeah.
His
Lon Strickler.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about cryptics and all this stuff and their latest books and all that stuff. So all the people who are into like cryptics and, weird stuff like that, black-eyed children, all that stuff, we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. That's going to be an awesome show. It
is. And, Lon's a friend, and I love his reports of the stuff he gets from anything from cryptids to black-eyed kids to dinosaurs, Mothman, you name it. Matter of fact, the one story I touched on tonight was from Lon. Can you imagine seeing a black-eyed kid in the middle of nowhere? And boy, that would definitely be a life-changing event, to say the least.
I wouldn't want to see a black-eyed children at all. The big fad right now is getting dye injected in your eyes and turning your eyes black. But what would that do to your vision?
Let me tell you.
Will you try it and let me know?
No, that would go south. Are you kidding me? I've got very bright light, blue or green eyes, whatever mood I'm in, and they're very sensitive. I can't even wear contacts, so no way. But there's been stuff I've seen just within the last week. One person had the whites of their eyes tattooed, and they lost their vision. And a couple of this has happened to a few different people. So that, your eyes are nothing to mess around with. If God wanted you to have tattooed eyes or colored whites of your eyes, he would have given it to you. So you don't want to mess around with that stuff. You're really risking stuff could go wrong.
Well, yeah, but could you consider having your white of your eyes dyed? Wouldn't that dye kind of work into the other part? And wouldn't it kind of like make your eye vision dim it drastically if you don't go blind?
There's been cases that happen. Not saying that that always happens, but there's that possibility. So that's my question: is why would you want to chance that just because you want to have all black eyes or all blue or whatever the color? But it's just not worth it. And like you're saying, we don't know. Even if it doesn't affect you right away, who's to say? Like you're saying, it doesn't seep into your brain and cause some kind of eye or brain cancer or something. It's just scary.
Yeah, or it could take years to, migrate into your eyes. I regret the tattoos I have on my arms. I mean, I look at them, they look really good the first couple years. And then the older you get, like my daughter, when she was like 20 years old, I have 2 daughters and 6 boys. She decided, without even telling us, she went and got a Tweety bird on her stomach. Not a small one, maybe a 6-inch Tweety bird on her stomach. I was not happy about it. It's her body. But after she had like her first kid, now the Tweety bird was not 6 inches anymore. It was kind of a little bit out of proportion and probably about 8 inches. When she had her 7th kid, her Tweety bird is now, Who knows what it is? You look at it and it don't even look like a Tweety bird anymore. It looks like, oh my God.
I still got. I only have one tattoo. It's from my deceased wife, but I got it way back in the 90s, and it still looks about the same. But yeah, they fade, and it's like all these women back in the. I look at it. It's funny. A lot of women in the 80s and 70s got these tramp stamps and stuff, and now they're pushing 70, 80 years old. What the?
Yeah,
it looks like something else.
Well, when they end up in the nursing home, hey, George, hey, you know what? Maybe we ought to sneak in her room. She's a tramp. What do you mean that?
Oh.
Well, look, Andy, look what it says on her. It says tramp.
I've seen other tattoos of, like you're saying, that's nothing wrong with tattoos, but like you say, a lot of people don't realize, now you become 90 years old if you live long enough and you've got these tattoos that the younger people would be like, what is that, Grandma? Or great grandma? And you'd be like, well, then they got to tell the story.
Yeah, or can you imagine you were a bodybuilder and you have this tattoo, a girl in a small bikini on your chest, and now you're 80 years old or 70 years old. Now it looks like her breasts are down by her belly button, and her everything is just sagged away. That's not because of your body changes. So I mean, a tattoo looks good when you're young. It's just what happens to you when you get older, and especially if you let your body go. And some people, even if you don't let your body go, come on, people's skin doesn't age the same.
No, and I've seen a lot of people that would, they were in World War II, and you got them sailor tattoos and stuff. What happens? They kind of like bleed, and you can't hardly see what they are. You'd have to kind of keep up with them or redo them or something. But I'm not tattoos. It's not worth it to me. It's too bad. It's just not my thing, even though I got one.
Yeah, I got one that's about 5 inches long on my arm, and I kind of regret it now. At the time, it was okay.
Yeah,
of course. I tell you a little thing. If you go into a tattoo parlor, okay, if you smell the smell of a certain herb, okay, don't go in there and get a tattoo. I'm warning you, don't do it. Because I went in to a place and I kept smelling this herb smell. You know what I'm talking about.
Oregano?
Yeah, it wasn't oregano, but I tell you what, the guy, and then he would take a break every 15 minutes. Being dumb and naive, he's probably taking a break in the back room, smoking this herb, right? The skull turned out really good, and part of the tree turned out really good. Just the rest of it, as he probably got into the herb, then, the quality of his tattooing went from there to like maybe a sixth grader.
Have you ever seen tattoo mishaps where they misspell it? They misspell a word. And those just crack me up because there's no fixing that.
No, yeah. Honey? Oh, horny. Yes, I could see that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's where they would come in smart. They have a phone. They could Google it and make sure they got the spelling right. But you know what? They don't think about that.
Oh, I know. And, I know somebody real well that had several tattoos, when they were younger, in places that are very visible. And now they're in kind of moved up into a management position. So they were kind of asked to, can you remove those or something? So they tried to remove them. And it was so painful to remove those, and it takes several procedures, and it really never goes away. It's still there. I mean, it just doesn't work. I don't know. I don't think they ever come off unless you just burn yourself or take the skin off it. But it's funny. Even the Iceman. And the Iceman. These people that were found in the ice 5,000 years ago got tattoos, and even some of the Egyptians.
Oh, yeah. Now, I'm going to change the subject. This is something I have never talked about personal in my life. I'm going to tonight. My granddaughter is going on 22 years old. Now, my daughter was pregnant with her, and she was running around with the wrong type of guy. And